Hello, this is Case, and I think everyone is wrong about the N64's main bottleneck. Everyone seems to think it is the memory latency, and I used to think this too until very recently when the developer of N64, which is the most accurate N64 emulator, has made me aware of the cache instruction. This changes everything. With the cache instruction we can manage cache in a way that it no longer is that big a deal, because now we can just operate on the cache instead of the memory. So if you look at my scene here, RSP E2E is 18.1 roughly, RDP is 20.5, and this is the bottleneck for the FPS. You can see if I turn this off now, I should hit around 50 FPS, 47, 45, whatever. Yeah, so people used to think the RDP needs long to finish because of the memory latency. Now the RDP needs long to finish because it has to wait for the RSP. I know there's like 2 milliseconds more, but that's because it just has to finish all the data the RSP has processed. So of course we have to wait for the RSP. So why is memory not an issue anymore? With the cache instruction, create dirty exclusive. Look at this. It's used all over the code base. What does this do? So when you're in the N64, you have a row of like 16 bytes. You have another row of 16 bytes. Let's say you want to override the entire row of 16 bytes here. Now, while you override the first 4 bytes here, the N64 has to load this entire cache line here into cache. That's one memory transfer, because cache line is always 16 bytes. So now you have 16 valid bytes in cache. And to write those 16 bytes here, you first have to load 16 bytes. That fucking sucks. So what does our instruction do? Our instruction does, you know what? Just assume you have a valid cache line, and now you start writing your chunks of 4 bytes. We save one memory transfer. That's 50% of the memory transfer penalty just gone. Our RAM is literally twice as fast now. Of course, this comes with the stipulation that you no longer load data from memory. Meaning, if you truly want to change 1 byte, you can't do this. So of course it's not quite 50%. It's only 50% faster in situations where you actually overwrite the entire line. But if you look at stuff like graphic tasks, sound tasks, you know, it's like that's gonna be your most common memory usage thing. Also, this cache instruction does other stuff for us. I'm not using this yet, but when you send a task to the RCP, you need to run index and validate on all the indices, usually, which is 512 memory transfers, which is a lot. But what if instead, because we are micromanaging our memory, instead of running index and validate and everything, we run hit and validate only on the last memory that we have actually changed. That way we have at most 512 memory transfers at the cost of a few CPU cycles. But look at my scene. Look at my CPU. It's 13 milliseconds on the idle thread. It spends twice as long idle as it spends actually computing any frames. We can do that. That's... who cares about the CPU, right? We should just abuse the CPU for this. And there's a few other ideas I have with the cache instruction. But basically this means memory latency, no longer the main issue. Now it's all about optimizing the microcode, which Sound is already doing with FreeDX3. And hopefully I can get into that eventually as well. Of course, this is not in every scene. I will have some scenes where that's not the main bottleneck. Let's check course 4, for example. I imagine it's not the main bottleneck here. Yeah, you can see the difference between RSP and RDP here is a little big. Oh, not everywhere, but in some places it is. Let's get a nice overview of the level. Let's find the most expensive scene setting here. I think it's around here. Yeah, there's like 5 point... no, actually like 6 point something here. So... oh, not what I meant to do. Yeah, 7 milliseconds, but this is not in widescreen mode actually. What if I am in widescreen mode? Yeah, if I'm in widescreen mode, it is the RSP again. Not quite. Either way, you get the idea. The memory bottleneck this is still like a thing, but it is way overstated. It's not as big a deal as everyone's saying. Especially if you don't use anti-aliasing. If you turn that off, then... Yeah, if you turn that off, it's almost... Oh, maybe it's fully the RSP again. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's all. Bye!